Hey everyone, welcome to our NEO video for today. We'll be taking a look at both NEO versus Bitcoin and NEO versus Tether. Before I get started, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. This market is extremely risky. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. This is just my opinion on the market. And with opinions, one can be wrong. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and start looking at things here. So Neo did go on a bit of a rip back here on the 25th of October, about the same time. Bitcoin was also on its massive move up, obviously, and it's been holding this. So if we compare Neo to Bitcoin, Bitcoin had a move down, a move up, and then it's moved down, right? So we've had more of a retrace. Whereas Neo, on at least on the 12-hour, is finding a lot of support here at this 21 exponential. And this again, Neo versus Tether, finding a lot of support here. So I'm seeing that it wants to hold this $10.20. It wants to hold $10.20, and it really wants to push above 11 and a quarter. 11 and a quarter. All right, so let me go ahead and just clean this up, and let's take off these moving averages for a moment here and focus just a little bit on these horizontals. Okay, so obviously, as you can see, versus Tether, we're down here way back where it initially launched on Binance back in August of 2017. So I would expect these levels to be pretty important for us to push through. But let me go ahead and zoom in and take a look at the current price action. So our upper, which is right up here, again at about 1335 or so, we had a little bit of bearish consolidation below it here. We had a rejection, a push through, but a rejection, and then we had our reclaim of support. We always talk about these reclaims of support once you're able to close through it, right? So this is a reclaim of support, whereas this one we pushed through, but then we fell back down to our next support zone down below. So now what do we have? We had another rejection up here. And then we came down to that second support, and this is the support zone where we really need to hold. If we don't hold that, likely we're going to come right back down here to about 862. The next level to pay attention to would be about 790, and then finally our last level is going to be right down here at $7. But my opinion is, and again, these are just my opinions, right? My opinion is if we go back here, we zoom in on the current price action, we need to stay above $10 and $10. We'll just say $10 even, just for good measure. We need to stay above $10 because, as always, there is the chance. Let me pull out my my polyline here. There is the chance that we're going to have this as an A, this as a B, and then this as a C to come back down here, potentially testing that $10 mark again before we start to see a flip of resistance to support, and then another one up here, flip, resistance, then support. We need to start seeing this happening. But obviously people get very interested in things when there's a markup in price. I tend to be skeptical that there is a little bit of a distribution going on here. I'm not sure if this is accumulation or distribution just quite yet. If we start to take out some of these highs, especially around $11.50, I do think that there is that potential that we do get that move to the upside. So we need to close a 12-hour candle up here about, I'd say 1160 or so, then come back down here to the support level around 1120 to 1125 before we see that next move up to $12, $13 and so on. So that's NEO versus Tether. Again, NEO versus Tether, I want to see us break through 1125 or 1150 before I would consider hopping on the train. But let's take a look at NEO versus Bitcoin, and it is moving up, right? We know that Bitcoin had a move down over the last 24 hours after it had, we'll call it a bull trap or maybe a temporary bull trap, but nonetheless, NEO is starting to move up as Bitcoin versus the dollar is going down, which is what is holding NEO's price pretty steady. On the 12-hour, the Stokes really don't look that bad. That's our green stochastic that we have right here. It doesn't look too bad. If we take a look at the 4-hour, it's also crossing up, so that is that looks fairly decent right now. The 3-hour has crossed up for a while now. If we take a look at the 2-hour, same. On the 2-hour, that one caught the cross right around right here at about 0.001229, and right now we're at 0.001278. So a little bit of an increase right there. We're up about 4% from where the 2-hour crossed. And then of course, if we take a look at the hourly is showing that we are kind of topping out short term. Right, I do say short term because I think that the hourly crossed bullish here again at about the same time that the 2-hour did. So the hourly crossed bullish that same time. So again, it's up several percentage points. But now it does look like that we are going to start to move back down. So NEO versus Bitcoin, it would not surprise me to move down a bit from here, but NEO versus Tether, I do think that there is room for the upside, especially if Bitcoin versus the dollar starts to move up. And I haven't looked at this in a while, so let's just take a look at Bitcoin while we are here. Yeah, we're still in this consolidation zone down here. So if Bitcoin moves back above 87.50, if it can retake 87.50 on an hourly, then Bitcoin has more upside potential. And what that would mean is that that tether pair likely has a little bit more upside, especially if NEO versus Bitcoin can maintain here above this zone at 0.001274. Or so, if we can maintain up here while Bitcoin continues to move up, then that means NEO versus Tether, so the US dollar pairing here, has that potential to go back up here to 12, 12.50 or $13. So lots of different factors, lots of different scenarios there. But nonetheless, I'm optimistic on NEO, but I do think that there is potential where if it breaks 10.21, that I would just sit and wait and see what happens. I'm not sure that I would set any buys down here, $8.50 to $9, even though that is likely where it would land next. I would say it would probably land between $9 and $9.20, maybe down here to $8.25. Which it's a pretty significant drop from where we're currently at. So that's like a 25% drop. So that's why I'm not really willing to buy falling knives. I am more willing to find this support and resistance flip, buy that and get that move up, because if you get this move up from here on a push through and a retest, then now you're looking at, and I'm not, there we go. You're looking at potentially 15 to 17% up instead of risking a 20% move drawdown. So you have to manage your risk, right? But I do think that we do have short-term potential for a little bit of downside. We'll just kind of have to wait and see how it goes. But right now we're sitting right at resistance. So if we can push through it, then I think a retest of 11.20 to 11.25 is likely going to be good. So that's what I've got on NEO right now. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop in the Discord and ask. You can throw in a comment here in the YouTube chat as well, and I can answer some questions there. But hopefully you all have a good day, and I will catch you all in